Well, wrestling historically is, when you get into it, it's historically male. And when you get into it, it's the naked truth about yourself. I mean, you can't fool anybody. You don't have team members to help you out. You're testing your mental strength, your knowledge of your sport, your physical strength, your commitment to even do something this demanding. And here it is. And it takes a different personality.
Yeah, it does. Like you said, you got to be a little. We talked about it. All the kids. You got to kind of be a little crazy sometimes to wrestle, just because the stuff that goes into it. Like you said, no teammates. You're on the mat by yourself. It's one-on-one. And basically, hey, am I prepared enough to take on this person or whatever it is? And it can be a tough sport, and it can be an unforgiving sport, but also be a very good sport in teaching life lessons, right? Hey, I got to hunker down. I got to do what I got to do to either help myself get to the next level or help myself, when it comes to losing weight or when it comes to, getting conditioned or whatever. And, if I want to, be successful, I have to sacrifice a lot to get to that spot.
And misnomer, I wrestled in high school and college, and I wasn't any good in college because I went to Indiana State, and Sanders had developed a program, and he had guys from Nebraska and Iowa and Pennsylvania wrestling states. I was a practice dummy, but it was a great program. And to me, wrestling is an entity where you don't have to be the strongest or the meanest guy on the mat. You have to know your sport. You have to know leverage. You have to know balance. You have to know your opponent, as far as when you get out there and you're feeling the other guy and what he does to you, how you can counter it.
Yeah. So I mean, really, like you said, it's always not the strongest that wins. It's always not the fastest that wins. This guy has good technique, good leverage. Knows the sport, knows how to set things up, and knows how to execute and finish. There's a lot of times where, the better kid doesn't win most of the time. And that's just wrestling because, you come in prepared. If the kid comes in prepared, ready to go and knows how to beat you, sometimes you just get beat, whether you're the better kid or not. Another thing is also, the way technology has gone today, there's kids can go on there and see matches against, see matches of their upcoming opponent at any point in time, right? Because the way track wrestling is, they film everything, everything's on there, and kids are, using that to strategize. Okay, hey, he does this, I need to be prepared for this, and we do the same exact thing. Okay, hey, this kid does this, you need to do this, and we practice and practice. So it's kind of become more like the other sports where, you have film on, on a football team or whatever, and you go through film. Well, wrestling's become the same exact way, and now it's easier to kind of get to that technology through track wrestling and things like that to kind of prep more than before. It'd be like, okay, hey, I'm wrestling this kid from wherever. I've never seen this kid wrestle. Just go out there and do your best. Where now it's, hey, I can be prepped, when a week in advance to wrestle somebody at the semi-state. Where before that wasn't something we could do, especially when I was in school. You would have tapes, but they weren't available online. Now everything's online, and you can go in there and see exactly who you're going to wrestle.
Yeah, because you can look at a guy and see what his asset is and use it to learn to counter it and use it against him.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can learn it in a matter of a couple of days.
Yeah, definitely.
Wrestling has changed. It's always before who's the brute strength guy, who's the football player that can come in and this, that, and the other thing. And it's not that way anymore. I'm not sure it ever was.
Yeah.
But now it's taken a change too, because now it's classified as co-ed wrestling.
Yeah.
When did that raise its head, and how has it developed here at Northview?
I think it's always been co-ed wrestling. I think there's always been opportunities for girls to come out. I think in recent times, in the last several years before I got here, there's a group that's kind of, come in and kind of made a girls' state and everything to give an opportunity for the girls to wrestle. So girls were able to compete against the boys, but also compete against other girls. And across the nation, I think girls wrestling especially is one of the fastest growing sports in the United States. And, Indiana has made it an emergent sport. So the idea is to make it its own separate entity. So you have boys and girls. And we've participated in the last, I think 3 years ago, we kind of got, 2 or 3 girls on the team, and they competed at the girls' state and did really well. And last year we did the exact same thing. So I think it's kind of becoming more prominent, whereas before it was kind of like, not looked at as something that, was, like you said, was more, just kind of a boys sport. Now it's becoming more of a co-ed, and now it's separating a little bit more, being boys and girls at the exact same time, just like girls basketball and boys basketball. Have 2 separate seasons and have them compete against girls. That's kind of what's been going on the last couple of years. Emerging sport status is kind of a good thing because now the state's starting to recognize it. There's starting to be some rules and things like that put in place for it to kind of get to the next level to where if a girl wins state, it's recognized throughout the whole entire state. Not that it's not recognized, but kind of more of a, hey, it's in the record books and it's at, the association level and things like that. And I think it's a great thing because, there's, in the past, maybe she wrestled at world team trials for freestyle, so she has a wealth of experience that we enjoy having coming in. She wrestled way back when for Northview. She's probably one of the first ones to wrestle for us here at Northview, and she just came back and gave me opportunities. Said, hey, Pat said, hey, I got someone that to wrestle, and said who it was. I said, hey, bring her in. That's awesome. And really, to bring her in wasn't for us to have a girls sport. She had the experience, right? She wrestled for the Navy. She wrestled at a high level. It was kind of to get her experience in to help the boys. And then, it just so happens that, the girls came along as well too. So it's kind of a win-win our situation, right? Sarah was really here for us to be an assistant that had experience at a high, and now she's helping out the girls as well too, which is fantastic for us.
How successful has the transition been into the girls' sport? You've had some success in recent years, 3-4 years.
Yeah. So really the 3 years we've been doing it, we had Mercedes and varsity when they became freshmen. We knew them coming up because they were did it in middle school. So we knew once they got to be high schoolers back, it was 2000, 2001 when our first kind of official season started. They qualified, and they had a girl named Madison Slaughter who came in, and she qualified for state, and they all placed. Mercedes got 2nd, and varsity got 3rd, and Madison got 5th, and we placed 5th as a team. So very successful our first year. Last year we had 5 girls qualify for the state tournament. Varsity won at 195. So just in the last 2 years we've been very successful with the girls' side of it.
With the success, is there different training techniques, different preparation with the females compared to the guys? Are the girls meaner than the guys, or is the guys stronger than the girls?
So I think with the training techniques, everything kind of stays the same. This year is the first year we're kind of separating them, just so they can be kind of separating, getting extra girls. Say, hey, you can practice with the girls. You can or you can practice with the guys or whatever. I think training-wise, everything stays the same, right? Same moves, same setup, same things goes on there. I think what you see for most, like I said, in the statewide, I think we get a lot of success with the lower weights. When it comes to boys versus girls, I think there's a lot of girls that do successful. Like I said, West Vigo had a girl that competed really well against us, who won state, the girls' state several years and made semi-state the last 2 years. I think she's done a great job. There's a couple girls up north doing the exact same thing. So a lot of girls do well, but I think varsity for us. She came out last year and wrestled varsity for us, and on the boys' side of things, and she placed at conference, 5th. Was close to, I think, placing higher. She had someone on her back and just kind of got out of it before. She was very successful as well. So I think it's kind of I think the girls are catching up. For all weight classes. But I think for right now, I think having the 2 classes, have the boys and the girls go on, I think it also gives a chance for the girls who may not want to wrestle the boys to wrestle only the girls, and they may never get a chance to have success against the boys, maybe get a chance to never wrestle boys, just for whatever reason. So it's kind of a good thing, have that opportunity for both of them to go back and forth between the 2 if need be.
Yeah, back in the day, well, my son's like 5-6 years older than you. He wrestled here, and in your day, there were chances for boys and girls to wrestle, and sometimes the boys wouldn't wrestle girls.
Yeah.
And now you got an opportunity to where it's more acceptable.
Yeah.
But you've got a girls team, you got a boys team, and you got girls that can choose either the girls team or wrestle on the boys team if they're good enough.
Yeah. And like I said, we had varsity step up last year for us. We had a hole at 195, and she stepped in for us. 2 years ago, Madison stepped in for us when we had a hole at 120, and she placed, and she, she wrestled tough. She placed at a tournament, a boys tournament, or a co-ed tournament, really, and she did great. So, I mean, we've had girls get in the lineup, and they've been successful. So, like I said, we never shy away. Hey, they want opportunity, especially like I always ask them, say, hey, we're doing wrestle-offs for, the varsity overall. You want to do it, and they, some say yes, some say no, but I give them the opportunity, right? Because you never know,
They get the choice.
Yeah, you get a choice, and you never know what you're gonna get, we may have one plan, and someone comes in and wins the wrestle-off. With wrestling, it's that's the thing. Like, I don't choose who wrestles what weight class. They wrestle off for the weight class.
Right. Just like the boys.
Yeah, just like the boys. Where other sports, it's kind of a pick and choose. With wrestling, it's, hey, I got it. U.S.
Show
weigh
me your
195. Yeah, who's the best? I'm going to go with whoever it is. You were a varsity last year. Guess what? Someone came in and beat you. Who, that's going down the road. You got beat. Come back next week and try to win the wrestle off again. So that's what I love about wrestling is it doesn't matter who it is. Boy, girl. If you're in the weight class and you win the wrestle off, guess what? It's your spot now.
Yeah.
So
prove yourself every day.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Practice has already started.
So for the girls, we've already started. Yep, boys start on Monday, on the 31st. But we have been doing workouts and conditioning with the boys 2 days a week, and get on the mat 2 days a week, and we run and lift 3 days a week. So we've been really getting after it. Wrestling has become, like when I was in school, we did camps and things like that. But really, wrestling has become a full year thing. We're doing stuff all year long. Even when the season's over, you go right into freestyle, you go right into Greco-Roman wrestling, those Olympic-style sports. And, last several years, I think we've been successful and building success because we've had kids come out and do that stuff and be successful in those situations there. Like I said, it's summertime, we get summer duels, and we practice all summer. So it's become a year sport. Now, obviously, we have kids that play football and cross country and soccer. We got a real diverse amount of kids that are multi-sport athletes. But, but we got a lot of kids coming in and kind of doing it all summer as well, too, while doing those multi-sports as well.
If you didn't know that there was a change in wrestling and would like to see what it's all about, like to see the girls and how they perform and how they demonstrate their abilities, as well as the boys, now's a good time to come out. Follow the nights at Northview, any wrestling team in your locale, and you're going to get a surprise. It's a great sport. Thank you for watching.